What's up guys, it's Pride here, and today's video we're going to be talking about how Boruto dropped the ball as a sequel, as a series, in the anime and the manga. Now I know I'm pretty late to this topic, but as they say, better late than never. This is what I want to talk about, so we're going to talk about it. Anyway, enough about that, let's get into it. We're going to be breaking this up into different categories, starting with side characters. When it came to side characters in Naruto and Naruto Shippuden, obviously the biggest thing that everyone wanted from original Naruto was more side character involvement. A lot of people would have loved to see more of Rock Lee, more of Might Guy, more of Shino, heck, more of Neji and Hinata. A lot of people wanted to see more of this, so Boruto obviously knew that side characters was a problem. In the anime, they tried to remedy this, but they obviously went about it the wrong way. You see, in the anime, they show the side characters. You got to see a lot of the different characters in Boruto's class and see what they can do. The problem was, it was one, a little bit too much, and two, when they were there, it didn't matter to the plot, like at all. I love the fact that they tried to put more emphasis onto the side characters, but at the same time, it just always felt like a filler episode every time. And that was the biggest critique of Boruto. It's just like most of the show before Momoshiki showed up was just filler. Like there was nothing important going on. And not only was these characters not integral to the plot, they almost had nothing to do with Boruto himself. Like a lot of the things in OG Naruto, what made the characters so good and made the side characters so like worth watching is because they actually played a part in shaping Naruto. Like they actually had a message to send. They actually had something to fight for. But even in Naruto, there wasn't really anything to fight for besides the tuning exams. But yet, that was all that we needed to love these characters and want more out of them. And again, in Boruto the anime, when they were there, they didn't amount to anything, and a lot of the powers was just weird and ridiculous. There obviously was a couple of characters that I definitely would love to see more of, especially in a serious context. But the other majority of the cast of characters, the way that Boruto presented them, complete flop. Now, for the manga side, they decided to go the opposite direction. Instead of showing the side characters, they decided to just delete them. Not only is there fewer side characters in general, so fewer people from Boruto's class, but like the ones that were even in Boruto's class or the ones that are even close to Boruto aren't even in the manga that much. It is completely Boruto's show, which again, that's how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be his show. He's the main character. But again, none of his classmates, none of his generation, which is what the show is supposed to be around, is actually doing anything important or is even showing up for any of these important fights. The entire show is hinging on just mostly Boruto, Kawaki obviously, and like sometimes his friends, but most of the time it's really Naruto and Sasuke, which leads to the thing that both the anime and the manga extra have a problem with. Naruto and Sasuke, yes, they are side characters. They're not supposed to be the main characters because it's not their show anymore. But yet, the only time that the show's actually good or the manga's actually good is when they're popping off fighting the bad guy, which obviously it makes sense that Naruto and Sasuke are out here fighting the super alien, because it wouldn't make any sense that Boruto and Kawaki would be able to beat them at such an early stage in the development. So not only was Naruto and Sasuke like the best part of Boruto's own show, even though Naruto and Sasuke are just supposed to be the side character, the show and the manga have to go to great lengths just to limit them and nerf them into the ground just for Boruto to be relevant and to take the full spotlight. So for the side characters portion, they just could not get this right. It just made no sense at all when it came to this. Speaking of things that doesn't make sense, we're now moving on to the second part of this video, which is power scaling. The thing about power scaling in Boruto is it just doesn't make any sense. It's kind of like Dragon Ball Super, where screw reason, screw sense, and just said, hey yo, this character is just this strong. And the thing about this is, it wouldn't be as bad as it is if Boruto wasn't so vague in its strength scaling. We got people in the community that honestly believe that some of the Kages in Boruto are stronger than previous Kages, than previous Hokages, and not only that, stronger than just Madara and like other people, all because you see the Kages fight Momoshiki, not win, by the way, not completely beat his ass, but just fight him and then just like, oh, that's enough, that's all we need. When Momoshiki's own strength isn't even certified or credited at all on how strong he is. Like people just assume, well, he's a newer threat, so he must be the strongest threat. That's not how that works at all. But Boruto will have you probably believing that, even though nowhere does it state, at least in the anime and in the manga, that Momoshiki was that strong of a threat. Everyone looked at him pretty casually. Sasuke, Naruto, everyone looked at him pretty casually. Heck, even Boruto himself, who just got done with his Chunin exams and cheated, so he actually didn't qualify to win. He should have lost 2 fights in the Chunin exam. He's actually not even Chunin level, and yet he squared up with Fused Momoshiki and held his ground pretty good. Even though Fused Momoshiki was arguably weakened, he shouldn't be weak enough for a person that's not even really Chunin level to even hold a candle, to even land punches. Momoshiki should have been able to deal with Boruto the same way Kakashi dealt with the entire class. Easy. Boruto shouldn't have even been able to touch Momoshiki. The only people in Boruto, power scaling wise, that make sense for how strong they are is Ishiki, and that's because he spent literally since the creation of the Shinobi world till his introduction in Boruto learning about ninjas and how they fight. Everyone else, every other villain, every other boss person that they fought, that Naruto and Sasuke fought, didn't have the type of training or knowledge or just wisdom that Ishiki had. So Ishiki literally building up power for a millennium. It just makes so much sense to be as strong as he was to fight Baryon mode Naruto and still almost win. That makes sense, but like I said, that's the only one. We got people out here saying that the 5 Kages can take on like Jubidar or something. I'm like, okay, we exclude Naruto, can they still do it? Yeah, of course. They fought Momoshiki and Kinshiki. Obviously they can fight Jubidar. So now you're telling me that some of these Kages can take a full-blown attack and actually hold their ground against 8 Gates guy. You're telling me that some of them can do this. So to summarize the power scaling part, I just want to simply say they decided to just take a page out of Dragon Ball Super, and Dragon Ball Super the anime, not the manga, because the manga is actually trying to be good. But Boruto is just like, yeah, we're going to look at the power scaling that you got in Super, and we're just going to like steal that. We're just going to make no sense left and right besides one dude, and that's it. That's all I gotta say about that. Moving on to the next part is the Jogan. Now this has its own category all by itself. This is one move, right, that was central piece for Boruto. I might as well just call this category like the main character was bad, which Boruto was. He was a snot-nosed brat that didn't know anything. Now he's kind of okay, kind of good, but he's like a great value Naruto. Like literally as a character idea, as like an execution, just like everything about Boruto. But his Jogan, right? His Jugon, I don't even know anymore, right? And the reason I don't even know anymore is because it doesn't show up like almost ever again. His whole power that was only his, the centerpiece of how he has his own show damn near, and what was supposed to really set him apart from Naruto. This dude has a Kekai Genkai. Naruto don't got that. Oh yeah, Boruto got something going on. Oh, there's a Kekai Genkai that even Otsutsuki members fear. Oh snap, what does it do? Well, it does exactly what the Byakugan does, except it can see one more type of energy, maybe 2 more, maybe it can see all types of energy. We don't know because like it showed up one time in the anime, or it showed up a couple of times in the anime and did next to nothing during a filler arc, by the way. In the manga, it doesn't even exist really. I don't even remember a page from the manga where the Jogan was just relevant, spoke about, seen. If I'm showing it on the screen right now, I had to search it. Like I had to look for it. Now I promise you, it's early chapter. It doesn't go anywhere after its creation and like its rumored power that so far isn't any better than the Byakugan, besides storing very niche situation. Very niche. It can see the chakra of a fake-tailed beast. Oh man, that's beautiful. The Jogan, beautiful. And the thing is, right, they just let it fall off. The one thing that could have made Boruto different, but a lot of people will say, oh man, well, you see it every time he has the Karma mark and like he's being possessed by Momoshiki. No, that's probably just the Byakugan. It looks like Momoshiki's Byakugan. That's what that is. But he can see the future. Momoshiki can see the future with the Byakugan. He has Momoshiki powers. That's what the Karma mark does. That's the unique thing about Boruto. He has the Karma mark. Oh well, it's not really unique because Kawaki also has it, and Code also has a defective one. So you know, there's nothing really special about it. In fact, it's like pretty standard for all people that were supposed to be controlled by the Otsutsukis anyway. They literally explain how the Karma mark is just a curse mark that is used to download the powers of an actual Otsutsuki into a new body. It's just a save file. That's all the Karma mark is. It's just a save file. So every time you see Boruto with his one eye open and like it looks like the Kekai Genkai, just know that it's just the Byakugan, and Momoshiki's in control. And you can tell that Momoshiki's in control because the other eye is always closed, and the other eye is supposed to signify that Boruto's asleep. So this whole category is basically just saying that they had an idea for a very cool, very different, unique thing about Boruto and decided to squash it after like 10 episodes. You know, it's just bad. Very disappointing writing. And now we're going to move on to something else that's just disappointing and just bad, right? This next part is going to be about the animation and the art style. I'm going to hate talking about the art style for the manga, but the animation in Boruto is not always bad. You know, it's kind of like Dragon Ball Super where they choose their moments to just be bad. You know, you can't help it when like you pause the video at a certain point and you just realize they didn't really try there in those 10 seconds that you pause the video. Like they kind of lacks the budget a little bit. That happens in anime. Not all animes, namely Bleach, killing it when it comes to animation, but I completely understand. You know, it happens in Dragon Ball Super, a little bit more in Dragon Ball Super, but man, the animation, Boruto, where they did a whole close-up for Naruto, made a whole scene out of it, and decided to air that atrocious scene where he just looks like a goblin. This impactful scene right here where Naruto's being serious, let's make him a goblin, right? That, like, what is this? I'm truly trying to figure out how they greenlit this. So the anime was definitely wrong for its animation sometimes, but all the time it was forever wrong for the hairstyle that it chose to give like the older generation, like Naruto and Gaara and Sasuke even. Like they could have did something with their hair that could have been way better. Like, why did they give these people this ugly hair? I'm seeing so many fan-made versions of Naruto, or not even fan-made. I don't know if this is a real photo at some point. I don't know if someone made this and was like decided to scratch it, because this Naruto right here, I would love to see it. But man, Naruto and Boruto, tragic what they did to my man's hair. Tragic what they did to him. And Gaara, I can never forgive that. I can never forgive the injustice that happened with Gaara. And now we move to the dreaded part of the manga's art. Man, it looks like every teenage girl is auditioning for cuties. Like, I don't understand what's going on with the manga. Like, why are we drawing these people like this? Like, at one point, I opened it up and I didn't want to read it because the cover of the page was Sarada in like the skankiest outfit and like lipstick on. I'm like, what is this? Like, what's going on here? Is the police coming to get me? Why is this happening to me? And at first I thought, you know, maybe that was just a one-off chance. They're not going to continue to, bro, they continue to make every child person here just dress the weirdest way. You look at the anime, they're dressed like normal ass kids. Makes sense. It's anime. This thing got can air to children, by the way. In the manga, they just said, screw all that. We want this thing to be different. We want them to be adult. And I'm like, no, don't draw them like this. Please stop. Because like, if I were to buy this manga in like real life, like go to an actual store, God forbid, pick up an actual paper book of this manga, then go with the cover, right? With the cover, and go up to the cashier and try to purchase this manga, I could already see the conversation we're gonna have. He's gonna start off saying so that's obviously a 10,000-year-old vampire queen who is actually the main character of the previous manga, right? And I have to look this person in the eyes and say, nope, that's a 16-year-old girl, 12 maybe. I don't even know anymore. I forgot their age. He's gonna look at me and gonna be like, well, sir, it's gonna be the first time I said this to a customer. I'm glad for your honesty. He's gonna be looking at me saying all that as he clicks a red button. All of a sudden, just the FBI is just there, bro. Who greenlit this? Who sees this is just like, yeah, draw her like this constantly. Oh, Ada, we got, wait, Ada's like the same age, maybe a year older. Let's do it up. Stop. Like, these are respectable ninjas. I don't even know. I feel bad talking about this. Summary of this category is, in the anime, they decided to make Naruto look like a goblin. And in the manga, they decided to make things that only goblins like. Like, it's just stupid how they did it. Like, I hate it. We're in the video here, folks. We're going to have the solutions in the next part. Oh, the plot. The plot is bad. All right, that's in story. The plot's terrible. All right, bye, everybody.